Why is this one so tight? That would be one. Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting set up here for our live stream. Not sure why my camera was relocated at some point. We'll get this rectified. You're ready to play some baseball Strat-O-Matic style from 1986. All right. The angles are all off, folks. The angles are all off. Get some Houston Astros dice. We don't have an orange one, so we're going to go black. I should get some more multicolored D20s when I get a chance, huh? There we go. Is that brown? Yep, that's brown. We're going to have the San Francisco Giants and the Houston Astros hooking up tonight in game number 24 of our 1986 season. There's the Astros. There's some television. It is annoying when it just starts playing on its own, isn't it?
Yes.
All right.
Very much so.
Gotta get my play area back to a semblance of playability here. It's been a long week, folks. Haven't played much of anything since the last time you saw me stream. And actually, yeah, I played a couple of games off camera one night on a different project. And that's been about it, frankly. So just give me a moment to get settled here and we will get a game underway. I don't even know where my pen is. There it is. Just because it's been a long week at work. Been feeling it a little bit. But it's Friday night. The week is just about over as far as work goes. And we're going to live stream a little bit tonight. At least one game, maybe two. I don't know how long the first one takes and how much energy I have. All right, the angles are all off, man. I don't know what's going on, man. The angles are all off, bro. That's worse. What the hell is happening? Oh, too far out, too. That should be part of the problem. That's a little bit better. All right, so tonight we have San Francisco taking on Houston. It's going to be Scott Gereltz for this fine San Francisco team. Get these guys set up here. Got to get the lineups in order. I was watching a little television and eating some dinner with the babe before this. It was a nice, relaxing hour or so. But now it's time to play baseball. Hey, Craig. Baseball and bourbon. What a day. What a way to end an evening, right? All right. Thanks for joining me this evening. My angles are still off a little. I don't know why. I'm having trouble getting the table at the right angle tonight, but we'll move forward. All right, so we got Gereltz on the mound for the Giants. He's going to be backed up by Dan Gladden, Will Clark, Chili Davis, Jeff Leonard, Chris Brown. We need a Bob Melvin card. There it is. Robbie Thompson and Jose Uribe. Well, Uribe. Okay. And Gereltz is a batting 6, so we'll grab one of those. Put it back there. And get these guys set up. So Gladden, we'll start with Garrelts, actually. He is a 1E17 with a 7 fatigue rating, 7 POW, if you're scoring at home. We got Gladden, he's a 3, 0 arm, E6. We got Clark, he's a 2, E18. Will the Thrill in his rookie season. Shirley Davis is a 2 -1 E10. Jeff Leonard's a 2 -2 E10. It's funny, I saw somebody at a Strat forum the other day complaining about outfielders with an E10 rating despite being a 1 or a 2. And I was like, man, we're spoiled, I guess. You guys must do draft leagues because E10's solid in most seasons. It's not elite, but it's definitely solid. T17, P0. Bob Melvin does not allow pass balls. That's nice. Thompson's a 2 E20 at second. Uribe is a 2 E18. Very solid. Solid defensive team here for the San Francisco Giants behind Scott Garrelts. Yeah, let's see what we got going on for the Houston Astros. This is a fun one tonight, folks. We got Mike Scott making his debut. 306 strikeouts here in 86 and 37 starts, 275 innings. So I know it's pretty common these days for players to have more strikeouts than innings pitched in baseball, but back in 1986, it was not. So that's a pretty awesome card. He should have some good 10-plus strikeout games ahead of him. Amen indeed. If you were wondering, it is indeed Buffalo Trace Bourbon tonight. You'll see that nice color. Let me get it on the camera there for you. Let me try not to condensate on the cards, Bobby. Oh, that's nice. That's a baseball ice cube, if you were wondering. Got a baseball mold. Doesn't look as good on camera. Right, that's actually a baseball mold. I got a couple of them. My babe got me them a couple of years ago when I was into Scotch more than bourbon. Scotch and baseball is a little too bougie. We'll drink Scotch when we're playing like tennis and golf, I think. Ice Sphere, indeed. It's actually got the seams on there, though they don't come out real well. When you break it out of the mold, it kind of comes off. But all right, so I think we're going to have somebody who's not going to be carded. I'm pretty sure Eric Bullock is not carded. But let's start with everybody else. We've got Doran, Walling, Davis, Kevin Bass, Mark Bailey. There he is. Billy Hatcher. And Dickie Thon. Where's Dickie Thon? There he is. So yeah, Bullock is not carded, so we're going to need a left fielder. I think last time we went with Terry Poole. I think this time we're going to go, you know what? I'm inclined to give the at-bats to guys who didn't, for the uncarded players, to guys who didn't play as much. So since we went Poole last time, we're going to go with Pankovitz as the leadoff man. All right. Whoops. We got Knutson. He's in the bullpen. Let me just double check on that. So we got Kruko out. We got Ryan out. And after that, it is good to go. Mr. Scott is a one-hitter. Got the most a Christmas gift yourself, underrated gift. Yeah, I was pretty excited when I got it. And I enjoy it now. It's my go-to. I also have the when I don't want to water it. I also have the steel cubes. You stick in the freezer, and they do a pretty good job. But so this is going to be Jim Pankovitz in place of Eric Bullock. That is going to be a left field 4 +2 E25. He's got a 347 on base, so not bad for a leadoff guy. Doran is a 1 E19 at second. Walling is a 2 E18. Davis is a 4 E12. Probably win a gold glove for not making too many errors. Bass is playing center. He'll be a 4 there, -1 with an E5. Bailey's a 4 with a +2. And he goes E4, T5, P0. So no pass ball is going to happen in this game. Unless it's off the pitcher wild pitches. Hatcher's going to be playing right field. He's a 2, 0, E6. Vaughn's a 2, E21. I was kidding about Glenn Davis winning the Gold Glove, by the way. Unless he gets awfully lucky on the die rolls. And we won't really know anyway because we will not be doing defensive stats other than errors. And then we have Scott. He is a 1, E11 with a 7 on the fatigue. I'm pretty tired. It's been a heck of a week, but I'm excited to be sitting down and playing some baseball. Hanging out with you fine folks. Hope whatever you're doing as you listen and or watch, you're enjoying yourself and relaxing. On this Friday night, yep. Wishful thinking that it was Saturday. Tomorrow I'll be playing left, right, center at this time with my wife's family at the 55 and older community where her aunt lives, and we have a good time there. It's fun. So I'll probably stream a couple games tomorrow afternoon, time permitting, which I'm sure it will. Got about 4 hours in between there that I can do stuff. So, but in any case, folks, we are here at the Astrodome for a night game in the dome, so it doesn't matter what the weather is. The singles are 9-9 here, and the home runs are 2 for lefties and 5 for righties. We're before a not nearly capacity crowd of 6,875 on April 9th, 1986. This is the final game, I believe. Let me double check. Yep, this is the final game of April 9th, 1986. We didn't go in order or anything. There's probably West Coast games after this, but it's the final game we'll be playing. We've played all the others today. Roger Craig is going to send out his team, as we've mentioned. Dan Gladden leading off and playing center. Will Clark at first and batting second. Chili Davis is the right fielder, batting third. Jeffrey Leonard is the left fielder, batting cleanup. Chris Brown bats fifth and plays third. The catcher Bob Melvin bats sixth. Robbie Thompson plays second and bats seventh. Jose Uribe bats eighth and plays shortstop. And the pitcher Scott Gereltz will bat ninth. The Giants lost the first game of this series to the Astros, who come in at 1-0 under Hal Lanier and have high expectations this season with a heck of a pitching staff and some solid hitting. Leading off in left field will be Jim Pankovitz. At second base, batting second, will be Bill Doran. Denny Walling bats third and plays third. Glenn Davis bats cleanup and plays first base. Kevin Bass is in center, batting fifth. The catcher Mark Bailey bats sixth. In right field, you have Billy Hatcher batting seventh. Dickie Thon bats eighth and plays shortstop, and Mike Scott is your pitcher, batting ninth. The split-fingered fastball is born, indeed. Mike Scott got a little surprised this year. You're not wrong, Craig. You're not wrong. It's almost like you've seen the future. Well, your umpiring crew tonight, over at third base, we have Lee Wire. Fred Brocklander is at second. I don't remember Fred. First base is manned by Ed Montague. I do remember Ed. And the home plate umpire calling your balls and strikes will be Dutch Rennert. So we're going to take a little sip of this beautiful Buffalo Trace bourbon, and the umpire is going to say, play ball! As we get this one started here in Houston. We've got the courtesy Astro dice, the brown six-sider to go with the two orange ones, and a black 20, because I don't have multicolored 20s unless I break into my Dungeons & Dragons stash from ages ago. So might have to look on Amazon to see if we can get some baseball-colored 20s. Leading off for the Giants is Gladden. He's batting right against Scott, who's a right-hander. Little super advanced baseball from the Strat-O-Matic universe for your evening entertainment pleasure. It's a 5-9 against the right-hander, and that's what you would expect Mike Scott to do. A splitter, strike out, pardon me. Boy, if this was a pitch-by-pitch game, it would take forever. So one down, and here's left-handed batting rookie Will Clark. Scott into the windup. How about a 2-9? Guess what that is, folks? Strikeout number 2. So Scott retires the first 2 batters on strikes. And here's Chili Davis. Davis, the switch hitter, batting left against Scott. Scott into the windup and the pitch. How about a 6-5? He's batting left. Strikes out the side, does Mike Scott, to start this season off. A 1-2-3 inning. Nobody made contact. Nary a foul ball to be found. Look out, folks. 27. He's on base for 27, Craig. You're damn right. Well, now Scott Garrelts is going to come up, and he's going to have probably a different approach. Let's see what kind of strikeout season Garrelts had. Pretty pedestrian, 125 strikeouts in 174 innings, but he only allowed 144 hits. He started and relieved this year, obviously. He's only got 18 starts with those 174 innings, and 10 saves. So a versatile year for Garrelts for the Giants. And leading it off will be the right-hander Jim Pankovitz. The pitch from Garrelts. How about a 4-8? Grounded down to third. Chris Brown is there. Fires over to Clark, and Pankovitz is retired for the first out. Next, we'll have switch hitting second baseman Bill Doran. Maybe it's Bill Duran. I don't know. I went to school with a guy named John Duran, but I seem to recall this name being pronounced Doran. I could be wrong, though, folks. In any case, Doran will bat left against Garrelts. Here's the pitch from Scott. That's a 1-5 against the right-hander, and Doran lays off, draws a base on balls, pardon me. And that's trouble because Doran is a AA stealer with good steal success rating, and we have to do the holds. So Garrelts at +2, along with Bob Melvin's 0, will mean the hold for against the Astros is a 0 - 2. Mike Scott, meanwhile, is a +1 hold with his catcher, Mark Bailey, +2. That's a total of +3, so the holds will be +1 - 1. So we might see some stolen bases here, folks. Danny Walling steps up, batting left. Doran. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you. And Doran is going to try to get a good lead. He's going to need a 2-6 or an 11. No auto caught. How about a 9? Nope. So that 14 turns into a 12 on the second steal success. So Garrelts with a toss over, holding Doran closely and Walling at the plate. He's a hit-and-run B, but he's also a damn good hitter against righties. So he's going to swing away. And let's make that a 2-spinny. 2-7 against the right-hander. Ground ball, second base A. That's going to be trouble. Grounded to Thompson, who scoops it, flips to Uribe, and on to Will Clark for a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. So that's a 1-2-3 the non-traditional way, as Walling grounds into the 2 base out. And the Giants will return to bat against Scott, hoping to make contact this inning with Leonard, Brown, and Melvin. Let's go, Mikey. Scott is on the mound. He likes the sign from Bailey. I wonder if Bailey's his personal catcher. I haven't looked ahead. It's a 2-9. Strikeout for Jeffrey Leonard. That's 4 in a row to start the game for Scott. That would be plus injury if we were playing with injuries, but we're not. So 1 away here in the second, and here's Chris Brown, a good-hitting right-handed third baseman for San Fran. Scott looks in. It's been a steady diet of hard stuff. That's a 2-6. This one's finally tapped back to the pitcher. Scott fields it. Tosses to Davis at first, and Brown is retired. The first guy to make contact this game, and all he can do is hit a little, number chop back to the pitcher. So with 2 outs here in the second inning, it's Bob Melvin, the catcher, coming up. Melvin waits, and Scott delivers a 2-6. And that's hit out toward right field, heading toward the gap, ranging over is Hatcher, and he makes the catch. So Melvin with the best contact thus far, but still a 1-2-3 for Mike. The Giants down, scoreless game as the Astros come up to bat in the second. They'll send their sluggers, Davis, Bass, and the catcher Bailey, 4, 5, and 6. Hey, Legend Sports Universe, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Guys, will you pardon me for a second? I'm a little congested. I just want to clear my sinuses. as I've started to talk, I've loosened things up a little bit, and they're running.
Don't forget your water.
Yeah. Got the water right here, my love. Babe's hanging out on the couch over here, watching her television show on her headphones. How are you, Legend Sports Universe? Anyone want a beer? I'm good with the bourbon right now, Greg. Thank you very much, though. It's a little dry in here, leading to a little bit of congestion issues. This break brought to you by Mucinex. Exactly right. What show is she watching? What show are you watching, babe?
Huh?
What are you watching?
Chicago PD.
Chicago PD. She's into the Chicago shows lately. You had some time before you stream at 8? Well, thanks for checking in, Legend Sports Universe. Anybody with any good sense will head on over to Legend Sports Universe at 8 o'clock for some actual entertainment. But in the meanwhile, thank you for hanging out with JC Sports Replays. My name is Joe, and we're going to hang out. Oh, your wife likes that show too? Yeah, she's gotten into them. Not really my style. We were watching an old season of True Detective before that, and I'm kind of digging that. So, well, here's Glenn Davis leading off for Houston. Geraltz delivers. It's a 3-8. Pop up on the infield, and Uribe fields. What are you playing tonight, Legend? First out as Davis pops out on the infield. Chicago PD Strat. You like peanut butter and jelly. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. So here's the switch hitter, Bass. He's playing center today, and he'll bat left. Geraltz from the wind up. It's a 2-7, and that's a ballpark. Not a ballpark. It's a single up the middle. Clutch doesn't matter, so Bass is on first. And he'd be a 16 if he can get a lead. So how about a 2-8 for Kevin Bass to get that lead with the Bailey up at bat? There's the 8. If he gets the lead, he's off to the races, 1-16. The pitch to Bailey. He fires down. Melvin turns it around fast, but not nearly in time, and Bass is in there with a stolen base. So Bass on second. They'll hold him there as well. Lions versus Chiefs get things rolling. Very nice. Excellent. Franchise Stars Football League. Oh, Madden 24. Yeah, I've watched a little bit of that on your channel before. Never tuned in live, but I've seen some of your stuff. I really like what you do there with that. Very, very visual presentation. Using MLB The Show for another project too, right? Which is a game I dearly enjoy. I'll actually probably stream some of my MLB The Show play when it comes out, when this year's version comes out. I've been toying with playing, I'm trying to figure out how to get it working for either Micro League or Hardball 3 so that I can do some fun throwback replays when I get around to it. But I haven't had the time to figure out how to enter the teams yet and get everything working properly. You love sports history and emerging errors. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I really like what you're doing on your channel. It's very unique. Yeah, me too, man. Micro League was my first, as far as I can remember, that was my first. It was either Micro League or Earl Weaver. I don't remember which one I played first. And I think I played some Tony La Russa too. Well, here's Mark Bailey. Bass is on second with 1 out, and Bailey bats left against Geraltz. This will be a 2-9. Strikes him out. So Geraltz finds his first strikeout. Nowhere near keeping up with Scott's 4, but that is the second out here in the second. And here's the right-handed right fielder, Billy Hatcher. Decent amount of speed on this Houston team. How about a 5-7 against the righty? Double 1 to 9, single 10 to 20. Hatcher chops one out toward left center field. It is not cut off. That's going to be a 2-base hit. Bass will score, and Hatcher has himself an RBI 2-out double. And the Astros give Mike Scott a 1-0 lead, which is probably all he'll need, but you never know. They'll look for more. The real beginning for me was Status Pro. See, I never played Status Pro. I actually have a season of it now. I haven't actually opened it yet. I was fortunate enough to find a, I think it was 1979 season, and the players are still unseparated. All the components are intact. So that was a nice purchase for myself over Christmas. Here's the shortstop, Dickie Thon. Thon, right-hander, 1, 2. And that's a ballpark single, 1 to 9. And that gets through. And that's going to be a base hit for Thon. He goes the other way. Hatcher was off with the pitch, and he will score easily. So Dickie Thon makes it 2-0 with an RBI single here. And Thon's on first with the pitcher coming up. Dickie can steal a little bit himself. He'd be a 15 if he can get a good lead. He needs a 2 to 7 or 11, but an 8 means he's dead duck. Well, there's the 7. So he's going to be a 1 to 15 to steal this base. And he gets himself in scoring position. And they will not hold him at second. And now it's up to Scott, who can't hit. He just can't do it, folks. That's not what he's out there for, but you never know. He might get lucky. Scott, a 1WR. Hit the like button, viewers. Yes, please. I would really appreciate any likes. And if you are new to the channel and you like the content, or think you might like the content, feel free to hit the subscribe button. We're having fun. But every little bit helps. Spread the word, folks. Support everybody in our community. It's a very small community, but we're growing. And if we can get the word out and get some youngsters playing these games, man, it's going to be better for all of us in the long run, right? I know I want them to have the same fun I did. I have no kids to pass this on to, but if I can find some young viewers who get a kick out of what we do here, and maybe we'll come over from fantasy sports or PlayStation, that'd be pretty cool. Well, here's Scott. He's wasted enough time dusting off his boots. And he'll wait for the pitch from Scott Garrelts. How about a 3-3? And he pops it up on the infield. He made contact, which is more than most of the guys have done against Scott tonight. Uribe calls for it and makes the play to retire the side, but the Astros pick up 2. And Scott looks determined, like that is all he plans on needing tonight. The way he's pitched so far, it wouldn't surprise anybody. You're 55, you're like a kid. I'm 51, Craig, and I'll never grow up. They took Toys R Us away, but they can't take away my Strat-O-Matic or APBA or any other kind of baseball game, not to mention all the other sports we play. Here's Robbie Thompson playing second and batting right. Top of the third. Astros lead 2-0. Scott delivers. How about a 110? That's hit well out toward left center field. That might be over everybody's head. It's certainly out of the ballpark there. Nope, it's not. It is cut off in center by Bass. He gets it in quickly, but Thompson has himself a single. Now, Robbie's got a conflicting card here. He's going to get a good lead on a 3 to 7 or a 10, but he'll be caught automatically on pretty much everything else but an 11. The 11's the only safe number at a glance. So, are we going to try? Yeah, what the heck? We're going to try. Or Uribe, well, actually, hold on a minute. You know what we're going to do? We're going to hit and run. Uribe will be a B hit and run. That'll make more sense because he's a little bit of a weak bat, batting eighth here. So Uribe comes up. He'll bat left against Scott, and it'll be a hit and run play. That's going to be on the batter's card, so we'll go to the hit and run B, and it's a 9, which I think is a grounder to second. Yep. Where's that a lead runner? I can't see. I can't see. It's a lead runner, pardon me. So that's a terrible result. Grounder to short. Thon is there. Flips to Duran at second, or Doran at second. 6-4. Uribe reaches on the fielder's choice, and Thompson is retired for the first out. Well, the speed doesn't end, folks. Uribe's got a 2-9-11 to get a good lead, so of course they're going to do that. With 1 out here, and that's a 10. So no good lead, but he's still a 14. So Uribe's on his way. And he's in there. Steals second. It's not a terrible battery, but the Giants have a lot of speed up and down this lineup. So Uribe gets himself in scoring position. They'll hold him at second. And here's a decent hitting pitcher. Gureltz is a 6. NR. What you do is almost the opposite. You hope you can get older folks to embrace some of the console stuff. Well, that'd be fun too. And see what you can actually do with them. They're not just button mashers. You're not wrong. And I enjoy the console stuff. I'm a child. Very nice. You had your 80-year-old parents play MLB The Show. Your mom raked. Your dad not so much. Is that an eyesight thing or a reflexes thing? Created an RTTS player for your dad. It was hilarious watching him. Coaches him in the that's fantastic, man. It's a good time. All right, well, here's Gureltz. He can hit a little bit better than Scott. Let's see if he can get things going. He's got an RBI chance here. Uribe on second, 1 out. And the pitch from Scott, a 5-5. Well, that's the 5th strikeout for Scott. He was not going to let Scott Gureltz get the best of him. These guys share a last name and a first name, so that's kind of fun. There's 2 outs now, and here's Gladden. He's 0 for 1, struck out the very first batter of the game. How about a 4-7 righty strikes out again? Scott's 6th strikeout through 3. This could be an interesting game, folks. He's racking them up. He's faced 10 guys and struck out 6 of them. Astros hold on to that 2-0 lead, and it'll be Pankovitz leading things off, followed by Doran and Walling. Pankovitz 0 for 1 so far. He was 83, 5'8", 130 pounds, and the coaches are predicting. Why did you pick that? That's great. I don't know you can make him that old. That's fun. So here's Pankovitz. Gureltz is ready. I could just keep saying Scott delivers every time, and I'd be right. That's a 2-12, and that is a base on balls to Pankovitz. So Jim taking advantage of being a leadoff hitter today to lay off that one. He'd be a 13 if he gets a good lead. That's usually good enough. Doran is pretty good. He'll be a hit and run A. We're going to try to get something going for the Astros. Halanier's got his guys running. In fact, both managers do. How about a 3-10? That's going to be a 10 on the A hit and run chart. That's popped up on the infield. And Bobby Thompson makes the play for the first out of the inning. 3-10 would have been a double 1-3 fly ball to left. So probably an out either way. Pankovitz held it first, and here's Walling. Well, can we get Pankovitz a lead? What the heck? Let's give it a try. 4-6. 10 he's caught. 4 or 6, pardon me. 10 he's caught stealing. So Pankovitz tries, and he's gunned down at second by Melvin. They went on the wrong pitch. Gureltz with a high fastball, and Melvin turned it around quick to catch Pankovitz at second, and now it's 2 outs for Walling. Walling grounded into a double play his first time up. How about a 2-5? This one's on the ground to first. Clark is there, and he'll flip to Gureltz for the third out. So Scott goes 1-2-3 the non-traditional way, and he'll give way to Scott, who's mowing him down, folks. 6 strikeouts so far. Astros lead 2-0. The Giants will send up Clark, Davis, and Leonard. All 3 are 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far today. Here's lefty Will Clark. The pitch from Scott is a 4-7. That one's hit out towards center. Could be trouble. Going back into his Bass. It's double 1-5. Nope, it's caught by Bass. Clark is retired for the first out here in the 4th. Here's Davis, the switch hitter batting left. Scott delivers. We've got a jumper. Get back in there, baby. It's a 3-7. Fly ball to left field. Back on this one goes, who's the left fielder? Pankovitz, and he has room. He makes the play for the second out. So they're making a little contact now as they've seen Scott once through. And here's Leonard. Leonard 0 for 1 with a strikeout his first time up. Scott looks in for the sign. Bailey puts down the number 1. And here we go. 1-9. That's one's hit out toward the gap. That could be over everybody's head. Bass going back. Pankovitz converging. That is, gotta double check. I'm going to say 1-9. That is over everybody's head and is going to bounce around a little bit. Jeff Leonard, round second. He's on his way to third. The throw comes in, but it's not nearly in time. And Leonard has a 2-out triple. So that is the second hit off of Scott here in the fourth. Well, in the game. First hit in the fourth, and it's Leonard on third with 2 outs for Chris Brown. I don't think Leonard's a steal threat from third. Not really. They're not going to hold him. They're not going to bring the infield in either. They're trying to get Brown out to end the inning. Scott bears down from the stretch. He glances at Leonard. Leonard not straying far, a 4-11. Here's our first X chance. First base X for Glenn Davis. He's a 4E12. And let's see how that works out. 13-12 on the 4E12. A 13's a G3, and the 12 is nothing. So Davis grabs it, flips to Mike Scott covering, and that's the final out of the inning. 1 left. Nothing doing for San Fran. That 2-out triple amounts to naught. And the Astros hold on to a 2-0 lead. They'll try to add to it with Davis, Bass, and Bailey here in the bottom of the fourth. I'm not sure you can make him quite 83. He was a gray-haired man when he maxed out the age. That's awesome. Is that the ACJC? Yeah, that's actually the heat going on. Here in a chilly February in New Jersey. We're down in the 30s tonight, expecting a little bit of snow. It's a little small little house with some forced air heat. So I apologize for the white noise. Hopefully it doesn't put you to sleep any more than my broadcasting does. Here's Davis. He's 0 for 1. Popped out to short his first time up. And Gereltz is ready. Davis waits. About a 2-6. This one is hit deep to left field. It is going back. Back chasing it is Leonard. He's at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Glenn Davis with a solo homer. 425 feet away. That'll make it 3-0. Glenn with power, and he showed it off there. Gereltz can only walk around the mound and wait for the ball. So the Astros with a 3-0 lead, and now it's Kevin Bass. Bass 1 for 1, stole a base and scored a run. And bats left. Gereltz to deliver. That's a 6-7. Grounder second base X. Robbie Thompson's a 2E20. That is going to be 18. That's going to be a G1. I don't even have to look. And an 8. Thompson makes the play over to first, and Bass is retired for the first out. I live in Eastern PA. I'm in Eatontown, New Jersey. I'm over on the Jersey Shore, basically. Right around the Red Bank area. Not too far from Sandy Hook. Right between Red Bank and Asbury Park, really. That is indeed what Glenn Davis does, and he'll do a lot more of it this season if things are going to go well for the Astros. So 1 out, and here's Bailey. He struck out his first time up. The catcher batting left against Gereltz. So 2-9. Is going to be a strikeout. So Gereltz has 2 strikeouts. They're both against Bailey. And there's 2 outs in the fourth. And it'll be Billy Hatcher. Hatcher an RBI double back in the second, and he came around to score. How about a 3-7? This one's on the ground at third. Chris Brown is there. Takes his time and fires to Will Clark to retire the side. But the damage is done. The Davis homer extends the Houston lead to 3 runs. 3-0 as we head to the 5th. Scott with 6 strikeouts still. He didn't strike anybody out last inning. He'll be facing Melvin, Thompson, and Uribe, the 6, 7, 8 batters. Far away. Yeah, family in Little Lake Harbor. Yeah, it's about an hour south of me. Oh, Scott is ready. Melvin waits. Bob is 0 for 1. 6-9 strikes him out. Number 7 for Mike Scott. Here in the 5th. He's not on a historic pace, but he's pitching well. Here's Thompson. He singled his first time up. We're sufficiently heated, and the air goes off. Scott strikes out Thompson. Strikeout number 8. And here's Uribe. Uribe reached on a fielder's choice, stole a base, and was stranded in the 3rd. 2 down here in the 5th. Scott into the wind-up. Uribe waits from the left side. That's a 2-9. Pops it up on the infield. No problem for Davis, just behind first. A 1-2-3 for Scott. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. The Astros nursing a 3-run lead. If only they had a better pitcher on the mound to make sure they could protect it. Here's Thon. Dickey's 1-for-1 with an RBI and a stolen base. Garrelts is ready. How about a 5-8? Strikeout. All right. He's inspired by Scott, trying to catch up. His third of the day for Garrelts. And here's Mike Scott himself. Kind of like Rab himself, if you know what I'm talking about. He popped out to short his first time up. He waits for the pitch from Scott. Scott delivers to Scott. It's a 2-6, and he strikes him out, his fourth of the day. So taking advantage of the bottom of the order is Garrelts to pad his numbers a little bit. Now we'll face Pankovitz. Jim is 0-for-1 with a walk and a caught stealing. 2 outs here, bottom of the fifth, a 5-7. This one's hit out toward left center. Double 1-9 single. That's going to drop in and one hop the wall. And Pankovitz will be on with a leadoff double. The throw comes into the cutoff man. Not a leadoff double, pardon me, a 2-out double. And that brings up Doran. Doran 0-for-1 with a walk today. We'll keep it rolling for you. Garrelts delivers to the switch hitter batting left. How about a 4-9? And that's a single 1-2, a grounder to first. Hit down toward Will Clark. Will he have a play? Yes, he scoops it. And he'll take it himself. Beats Doran to the bag for the third out of the inning. 3 outs, 1 left for Houston. They still lead 3-0. We'll head to the sixth. And it's going to be Garrelts, followed by Gladden and Clark. Garrelts is a 7 fatigue. It's a little early. He's pitching pretty well. He's made a couple of mistakes. Little BT to soothe my tired voice. We'll talk all day at work as well, folks. So the vocal cords are strong, but as the night wears on, especially with the dry weather, get a little raspy. Well, Garrelts is 0-for-1. He was a strikeout victim. Mike Scott has 8 of them so far. We're in the sixth. It's nobody on, nobody out. Garrelts to lead off. How about a 1-10? Hey, he makes contact. Down to Thon at short. Dickey scoops and fires to Davis. Oops. Didn't mean to put that line there. That's the first out of the inning here in the sixth. Gladden is ready. Gladden struck out twice today, 0-for-2. About a 4-2. That one's hit out toward right field. Gladden going the other way toward the gap. It's hit back. Could be trouble for Hatcher. He's trying to chase it down. And he does. He's going to make the catch on the fly for the second out of the inning. It's a double 1-6. He got a 9. So 2 down quickly, and here's Clark. Clark 0-for-2. Struck out and flew out. Mike Scott deals a 2-5. That could be trouble. This one's hit deep toward right center field. Once again, back on it goes Baz. Converging with him is Hatcher. Well, I say 2-5. That's going to drop in and be cut off very deep by Hatcher. He hurls it in, but Clark is in with a stand-up double. Another 2-out hit here. Let's see if the Giants can actually do something with it. So 2 out, man on second, and here's Chili Davis. Chili's 0-for-2 today. One of Scott's many strikeout victims. Chili waits from the left side. Scott looks in. Takes a glance at Clark. Will's not going very far from second, and he pitches from the stretch. How about a 2-7? And strikes him out. Look at that. If you can see that real clear, I'll raise it up a little bit. That 2 column against righties. There's a strikeout on a 4 and a strikeout on a 7. And, of course, Mike tonight hit the 7 for his 9th strikeout of the day. That'll end the 6th inning. Once again, 1 left. No runs scored. The Astros lead by 3, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Garrelts will face 3, 4, 5. It'll be Walling, Davis, and Bass for Houston. Here's Denny Walling. Walling 2 ground balls today. Nothing doing on the box score. Garrelts with the pitch. How about a 3-10? And that is a base hit up the middle. Walling has himself a leadoff single. So Denny's on. He's at 13. And that would be the same if he gets his good steal chance. We're going to try to roll a 3. Nope, we roll a 12. That's the other number we could have hit, and he is caught. So Walling tries to steal. He doesn't get a good jump, and Melvin guns him down. Nice tag applied out there by Thompson for the first out of the inning. The Astros trying to sneak into scoring position, and it didn't work that time. Here's Glenn Davis. Davis 1 for 2. He hit a big home run back in the 4th. How about a 6-3? Fly ball out toward left. This one's hit medium deep. Leonard has a play on it. The 2E10 for Leonard. How about an 18-8? 18 on a 2 is an F3. And 8 on a 10 is nothing. So Leonard makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And with 2 down, it'll be, whoops. Did I ever turn him over? Didn't matter. It was on the pitcher's card, but so Bass is out, and here's Bailey. Oh, no, that was Davis. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I skipped a line. So I was reading the right card. All right, here's Bass with 2 outs. Don't need the 20 right now. Geraltz delivers a 1-11. Single 1-10 line out to second. This one's hit hard toward Thompson. And he makes the play. A little half leap for Thompson. He puts that one in his glove. Wasn't sure he caught it, but when he looked in the glove, there the ball was. A 1-2-3, the non-traditional way for Geraltz. He's doing the best he can to keep up with Mike Scott. But he still trails by 3 as we head to the 7th inning. Scott with 9 Ks through 6. Here's Jeffrey Leonard leading off. He tripled last time up, struck out the first time up. 1 for 2 in the box score. Scott from the windup, 5-4. On the ground toward third. Walling is a 2E18. Let's see what happens. But 18 is going to be a G1. And how about a 10 on a third base E18? Nothing doing. So Walling fires to Davis, and Leonard is retired. 1 away here in the 7th for San Francisco, and it's Chris Brown. This guy is not a pop star, and as far as I know, he's never met Rihanna. 0 for 2 so far for Brown. He's grounded out 1-3 and 3-1. Not sure what else he can do for an encore. Let's try for a K, I guess. That's what Scott's thinking anyway. Well, it's a 4-8. There it is, the 10th strikeout of the day for Mike Scott. Happy to be in double digits in his first start here in 1986. And Bob Melvin coming up. Melvin 0 for 2. Scott wasting no time with the pitch. It's a 6-something. How about a 6-7 righty? Strikeout number 11. So Scott's mowing him down. 11 strikeouts through 7. He's not in danger of breaking any records, but boy, is he putting up a solid performance. Shutout through 7 so far. And this will be Geralt's last inning, no doubt, because he's due to bat in the 8th for the Giants. A little 7th inning stretch action. You know what that means, folks. Time for some Buffalo Trace. Let's hoping for a second homer Waggy do. Yep. Yeah, the way Scott's pitching, 3 is probably going to be everything. Well, you never know. We roll the dice. Could be a lot of batter card results in a row. It's one of the interesting parts of Strat, being a 50-50 game engine. People complain about that, but I actually like it. And I think that the streakiness greatly mirrors baseball, to be honest with you. So, it's going to be Bailey, Hatcher, and Thon for the Astros. Bailey is 0 for 2 with 2 of Geralt's 4 strikeouts today. We got a bouncer. How about a 1-9? And Bailey strikes out for the 3rd time. He has no idea what Geralt's is throwing. Just not seeing him. 1 away. It is fun. I love, there's a couple of guys I love. So I don't care what year it is. I love pitching with Nolan Ryan. All the strikeout guys are fun, you know. I love Geralt's. I never watched Bob Gibson pitch, but I always enjoy pitching with him in Strat. Who else? Randy Johnson. And Pedro just had some shutdown seasons, man. Anything can happen with Ryan. He's going to walk 8, strike out 10, and you never know how that's going to end up, right? Bobby Witt, yeah. Bobby Witt, similar stats to Ryan a lot of years. You're 100% right. Even the early Randy Johnson years where he walked like 140 guys but struck out 250, you know. Well, it's going to be Hatcher. 1 for 2 so far. And that's a 5-9. And, oops, that's not the third strikeout. That's the... Bailey was the 5th strikeout, and Hatcher is the 6th strikeout. So Garrelts may be getting stronger as the game goes on, but this will be his last inning, I'm sure. Here's Dickie Thon. He's 1 for 2. Another one of Garrelt's strikeout victims. He's padded his numbers with the bottom of the order today. That's a 6-7. This one's on the ground. Toward Thompson, a 2-E20. How about a 1? That's trouble. A 1-6. This doesn't look good. Single 1, and the 6 is nothing. So it gets through past Thompson under his glove. They say Thon has a hit, and he does. And Dickey will try to get a good lead. What the heck? Scott's due up. He's going to hit. So Scott's in the box. Thon, a 2-7-11, or he's caught on an 8, which is what we rolled last time. We rolled an 8 again. My God. What are the chances, folks? Oh, no, Thon stole it last time. We rolled an 8 on somebody and got caught, and here Thon gets caught stealing automatically. So that is the third out. Scott will be the batter next time up unless they go for a pinch hitter. Nothing after 7. And as I said, Garrelt's day is done because he's going to be due to bat third in this inning. So we'll just make that adjustment now and get a pinch hitter ready. Actually, I'm not going to get the pinch hitter ready till we see if the leadoff guy gets on, but it definitely won't be Garrelt's batting. Garrelts gets back in his rotation order. Next up in the rotation, by the way, for the Giants will be Vida Blue. What am I doing? Oh, wrong stack. There we go. I'm still adjusting to my stream layout. I had a whole different layout on the table for when I was playing solo. Now everything needs to be in one area for the camera, so it takes me a moment or two sometimes to adjust. But it's going to be Thompson, Uribe, and a pinch hitter in all likelihood. It might be a pinch hitter for Uribe even. So let's see. Thompson will hit. Got some ideas. Got Aldretti on the bench there. Maldonado hits righties well. Those are your likely suspects, folks. And then could be Joe Youngblood, too. Or even Mike Woodard is actually a solid bat against right-handers. Let's see what happens, though. Thompson's definitely going to lead off. So let's start with that. Dickie Thon got hit in the face. Yeah, somebody else was telling me that. I don't remember that. He was still good. Hit by Mike Torres in '84. That's a shame. That's a shame. They said he was never the same, huh? Still a solid player here. I wonder if he would have been a better hitter. So it's Thompson leading off against Scott. Scott with 11 Ks thus far. And a shutout through 7. How about a 6-5? How about 12 Ks, folks? Nope, wait. Nope, yep, 12 Ks. I was looking in the wrong column. Turns out to be the same result. Nope, don't need that there. So Thompson is down first out of the inning. It's Uribe due up. Yeah, we're going to have to go pinch hitter here, and it's going to be... how's it going to be? We're going to go Aldretti, the left-hander. Aldrit. And who's going to be on deck, folks? It's going to be Candy Maldonado on deck. Because there's no more lefties on the bench. So Uribe's day is done. And we'll have a new shortstop when we go to the bottom of the inning. But Aldretti and Maldonado are going to hit right now. Trying to make up that 3-run deficit. Scott is ready. Aldretti waits from the left side. How about a 4-2? Single 1-19, line out to second. Otherwise, so hit hard toward Doran. He leaps, but it's way over his head. No chance at that one. And Mike Aldretti does his job. He gets on first base. They will hold him to try to keep the double play in order. And here comes right-handed swinging Candy Maldonado. Candy's got power. Unfortunately, it's mostly ballpark power, but he's also a good hitter against righties. Year before he hit 286 with 20 homers. Oh, I didn't realize he hit that many. I didn't really start paying a lot of attention to, well, that's not true. I probably watched a lot of baseball. I don't think I had a grasp of the stats until 85, really. I really started paying attention when Doc Gooden came on the scene, even though I'm a Yankee fan. It was a good Mattingly year in '85 for me, and that was the year I first really watched as many games as I possibly could, and had a good grasp of what was going on. So Aldretti at first, one out. Here's Candy Maldonado, the right-hander. Scott delivers a 2-12 line drive to shortstop, and Aldretti is caught leaning. So Thon picks it on the fly, fires to Davis, and Aldretti can't get back. That's going to be a 6-3 line drive double play. And Scott only strikes out one here in the 8th, but he gets through it non-traditionally, 1-2-3 all the same. So Maldonado is going to come out. So's Aldretti for that matter. We'll need a shortstop and a pitcher for the Giants. And we're going to go with Mike Woodard. Mike Woodard's going to come in and play short and bat 8th. He'll be C. So Aldretti's day is done. Maldonado's day is done. C and D. It's going to be Woodard. The shortstop for E48. Batting 8th. And we need a relief pitcher to bat 9th. And with a 3-run deficit, hope springs eternal. They have a pretty good bullpen. We're going to go, just want to see, kind of a bullpen by committee here. Who's coming up? Let's look at that. It's Scott, followed by Pankovitz and Doran, bunch of right-handers, I do believe. So it doesn't really matter. So we're going to go to the work. Well, how many innings are you going to pitch? 1 inning we're going to get out of this guy, most likely. So maybe we'll go lower in the order here. Yeah, they want to go to a long relief. They're going to go to Frank Williams. We can close the book on Garrelts as well. We'll do that before we start the next inning. Williams is a pitcher 3E0 with a 2 fatigue rating. So Garrelts went 7. Williams is a number 3 hitter as far as the pitching card goes. Just want to get all the cards set up so I don't skip anybody. And Scott's going to lead things off. But first, let's look at Garrelt's game. He went 7. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits, 1 homer, 3 runs, all earned. Walks and strikeouts. The strikeouts are easy. That's 6. The walks, I think it's 3, but let's double check. 1, 2. Nope, I cheated him. He only gave up 2 walks. So that's the line on Garrelts. 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 homer, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. He did the best he could. That's a quality start, but right now, Garrelts stands to lose it. And Mike Scott will lead off the 8th inning for the Astros. Scott 0 for 2 so far. Mattingly was awesome. Orioles fan, but much respect for Mattingly. Listen, hard not to, same feeling for Ripken, man. If I could have had Ripken on my team, I would have taken him in a heartbeat. Completely understand. 2 classy guys, very, very high quality players. Wish Mattingly had stayed as healthy as Ripken had, or even 2/3 as healthy. He'd be in the Hall. So here's a 6-8. Grounder down to third. No problem for Brown. He scoops it, fires to first, and Scott is retired for the first out here in the 8th. Here's the right-handed Pankovitz. Frank Williams on the mound for the Giants, trying to hold it right where it is. A 3-run deficit for San Fran. If you're paying attention, they'll have the top of the order in the 9th. It'll be Gladden, Clark, and Davis. So 1 down. Here's Pankovitz. He's 1 for 2 so far, a double and a walk. How about a 1-4? This one's on the ground to short. The new shortstop Woodard being tested immediately, but he is up to the challenge, a 6-3 for the second out of the inning, and here's Doran. My wife just said die for no apparent reason, but it's related to a television show she's watching.
Oh, Sorry.
It's okay. It's just funny. Die.
Sorry.
If Jim Pekovich grounds out, die. Fantastic. Doran's 0 for 2 with a walk today. That's a 1-7. Fly ball to center. Looks like it'll be no problem for Gladden. He roams over, and it's a can of corn in the glove. 1-2-3 inning. For Williams, he does his job. He gives the offense a chance. They'll need 3. And Scott is on his game. 12 strikeouts through 8. Looking for the shutout is Mike. He's faced 27 batters so far through 8 innings, so he's only allowed 3 base hits, a single, a double, and a triple. Well, you know what that means. He's due to give up a homer. How many homers did Scott give up this year? 17. So a little less than 1 every 2 games. He had 37 starts, gave up 17 homers. Jeffrey Guterman is in the house. Good evening, Mr. Guterman. How are you tonight, sir? Nice to see you. Jeffrey is my favorite Strat-O-Matic YouTuber. I'm not even lying. He is a very down-to-earth guy, and he's a lot of fun to watch. He keeps it real, folks. It's not just about baseball. It's about life, sports, and the universe on Dr. Guterman's channel. So if you do not know Mr. Guterman, please head on over and give him a subscribe. He does a lot of live streaming of his 1969 baseball season, and he's good daytime entertainment. I try to catch him in the morning and on my lunch hour when I can. So my pleasure, Jeff. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Only got to tune into you for about a minute and a half today. It was that kind of work day, but tonight I got some Strat, I got some bourbon, and I'm feeling good. Your best friend was a Yankee fan. You both worked the same job as valets. You remember him listening to radio on Mattingly had 7 consecutive games with homers. Yeah, he hit 8 that year, didn't he? And isn't that still tied for the record? I don't think anybody's beat the 8. I think somebody came close 1 or 2 years ago. Don't remember who. It's him, Griffey, and now somebody else. I think somebody else tied the 8. Might have been Judge, but I don't think it was. I think it was somebody else. And that was also the same year. Well, not the same year he hit every grand slam he ever hit in his career. He hit 6 grannies this year, I believe, 86. And those might have happened in different years. I'm not 100% sure. But he hit 6 grand slams in 86. Never hit another one in his career. So weird stats, man. Baseball is funny sometimes. Of course, it's easy to hit grand slams when you've got Henderson and Randolph batting ahead of you. That's gonna increase your odds, right? Well, here in the 9th, folks, it's Houston 3, San Francisco 0. Mike Scott has struck out 12 so far, and he comes out for the 9th inning. He'll face the top of the Giants' order. It'll be Gladden, Clark, and Davis. Dan Gladden has struck out twice and flown out to right. He's 0 for 3 in the box score. And here is the pitch from Scotty, 5-7. You know what that is. Strikeout number 13 for Mike Scott. Gladden's 3rd strikeout of the day. Thank you very much. Have a seat, sir. Maybe next time. That'll bring up the rookie, Will Clark. Will is 1 for 3. He's got one of the sweetest swings you'll ever see. He doubled off of Scott back in the, looks like the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Scott likes the sign from Bailey. He's into the windup. Clark waits from the left side. How about a 2-10? Well, look out, folks. We were talking homer. That's a ballpark home run chance against right-handers. That's going to be a 1-5 chance. So Clark hits this one deep to right field. Going back into this hatchery. He's running out of room. He's on the track at the wall. He catches it right up against the wall. Will Clark retired. He gave it a ride, did Will. What a hitter Clark's going to be, folks. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful swing. He just got under it a little bit. And it's just a long out. 2nd out of the inning. And the Giants are down to their final out. It'll be Chili Davis coming up. Chili is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. 87 was a consecutive homer streak. Okay. 6 grand slam for Mattingly this season. Only ones of his career. Yep. I knew that was right. Wasn't sure about which year the 8 consecutive was. So here's Chili. He's going to bat left. He hasn't had much success against Mike Scott today, but then nobody has. Just 3 hits on the day for Scott against 13 Ks. Clark's come the closest of putting a run on the board for San Francisco. Let's see what Davis can do with 2 outs here at top of the 9th. We're going to wait for the spin. It's a 3-9. Well, guess what, folks? Swing and a miss. Sit down, Chili. The game is over. 14 Ks against 3 hits for Clark. For Scott, pardon me. I don't know if he walked anybody. I don't think so. 9 innings. He's going to get the win, the complete game, and the shutout. I know he gave up 3 hits. Obviously, no homers, no runs, no earned runs. The only stat I'm uncertain of is the walks. And I think that's a goose egg as well. Let's just get a quick scan here. Yep, nothing doing. So Mike Scott with a spectacular performance, the obvious player of the game. 9-inning complete game shutout. He gave up 3 base hits and struck out 14. What a game for Scott. 2 of them occurred during his hitting streak, during his home run streak. Oh, that's cool. Didn't know that. So what are we going to do here, folks? It's a final score from the Astrodome. Houston puts it all away. They have a 3-0 win. They go to 2-0 on the season. The Giants fall to 0-2. And what time is it? I don't even know. I have no idea what time it is, which is a fun thing to be on a Friday night. We might be able to get a second game. It's only just 8 o'clock. So I think we'll play another one, folks, if that's okay with you. I don't have one set up, but we can get one set up quick. So let's get these guys in a little bit of order. Otherwise, everything's ruined when I go to play again if I don't take a moment to organize the cards with my proper order. So we had a couple of fatigued relievers for San Fran. They will be good again because they had a day off. Mark Davis goes back, and so does Greg Mint. Frank Williams, the only reliever used today. This is my organization, guys, just in case you're wondering. I don't like keeping charts for stuff I don't have to. So, like, here's my bullpen for the San Fran, right? All these guys are now fully rested. Nobody pitched yesterday, or nobody pitched today. These 2 guys pitched yesterday. They were upside down. We simply turn them right side up, keep them in innings pitched order. And then the guy who just pitched today goes upside down on the bottom of the stack. Now, if at any point I use somebody twice, we just go like this. And now he really can't be used the next game. That's how I keep it simple, stupid. And then I put my lineup on top, my reliever, my bullpen, then my bench. And then we'll go to the stack. We'll take the next game's starting pitcher. We'll put him right on top of the stack. The rest of the rotation goes underneath. That way, when I pull him out next time, we're pretty much ready to go. We just got to check the particulars. I always got to make sure I take the pitcher's hitting cards out, too, because I have a tendency to leave those in there. So last time, Nolan Ryan went the distance for Houston, so we haven't used a reliever for the Astros yet in 2 games. But I guess as we get deeper into the rotation, we probably will. Simple but effective. Listen, I hate charts. If I can do it without having to refer to anything, I'm a lot happier. Oops. Mike Scott almost got traded. So next up for Houston, it'll be Bob Nepper, and next up for San Fran, it'll be Vida Blue. That's actually a pretty good lineup. That's a pretty good matchup as well. Oh, we're going to have to check something real quick. I got to see if there were any transactions going from April 9th to April 10th of 1986 that I need to make a move for. I also got to put my pitcher's hitting cards in order for easy reference. Yeah, I'm an organizational neat freak sometimes, folks. So Garrelts takes the loss. Oh, let's do Frank Williams. He pitched an inning and had nothing else doing. So that's an easy one. So Scott the win, Garrelts the loss, despite a quality start. And we'll just flip this over and go to the very next game. It's going to be the Cubs and the Cardinals. So we'll grab a stack of cards here. There's the Cardinals. Yeah, let's find some Cubbies. Well, look, it's going to be Eckersley. Is that correct? Eckersley versus Rick Ownby, who I don't remember at all. Dennis, obviously, I remember. I know the name Rick Ownby, but I could not tell you what he looked like if he was sitting next to me on the couch right now. So we'll put these guys over here, but real quick, I'm going to check Baseball Reference for Rick Ownby.
Oh. Thought you were talking about the puppies.
Nope, puppies are also on the couch, but they're not pitching in any of the games at this point.
That'd be pretty amazing.
That would be.
We'd be rich.
We're going to check the transactions to see if anybody got moved on. Well, it's having a little trouble loading here. What the hell? Probably because I'm streaming. I'm having trouble getting this page to load. There we go. Scroll down in Baseball Reference, not that you're able to see what I'm doing, to the transactions. Babe thinks it's funny that I'm looking up transactions. It's true. There we go. Baseball Reference being a little finicky with the laptop right now. And let's see. Nope, we got a ways to go. We're looking at November right now. Hold on. Looking for April 10th. You've probably looked this up before, faster than I have. All right, so the Dodgers signed Cesar Cedeno, the Yankees signed Al Holland, and the Montreal Expos release Bert Roberge, who I don't remember at all. I think Cedeno and Holland are in my not on a team yet stack here. Let's see. It's one of these stacks. Not there. There's Cedeno. He's got to go to the Dodgers, right? And Holland has to go to the Yankees. So those will be our transactions for today. Let me just get those done. Get to see the process, folks. Isn't that interesting? Not at all, but go ahead and do it anyway, JC. There's your Dodgers. We'll just put Cedeno into minors until we get a chance to look at how we're going to construct that roster with that move. And let's find the Yankees. Actually, let's just toss Al over here. I'll remember he's going on New York when we are done with the next game. So the Cubs and Cardinals are due up. Let's see what Baseball Reference has to say about that. Normally I note a lot of stuff ahead of time. I like to set up all the score sheets before I play the games so that I have all the information I want in front of me. But here we're just going to do it on the fly for fun and inefficiency. Why can't I find the Cubs and Cardinals on April 10th? Here they are. Waiting for Baseball Reference to load. So many ads. So it is a day game in Busch Stadium before a crowd of 32,952. The day game is the really important thing we need to know because we have to roll for weather. Well, we don't have to, but we do. That's just what I choose to play with. So St. Louis, April day. We roll a 12. It's going to be an average day in St. Louis. A 13-10 on the singles, a 5-5 on the homers. And I didn't note them on the score sheet, but let's take a look at today's umpires. Now this looks different on, it looks a lot different on the website than it does on my phone. Un momento, por favor. The umpires for this game at third base, Harry Wendelstadt. The second base umpire, Charlie Williams. Over at first, Jerry Crawford. And behind the plate, calling balls and strikes today, would be Terry Tata. Terry Tata. I like to have that information. I don't know why, I just do. It feels like a more historical approach. Gives me a little context. And I like seeing the umpire names, because you remember the umps that you liked and you hated. You knew who was going to call balls and strikes differently. You knew who was going to argue more. I don't know that anymore. I don't pay enough attention. I don't watch enough games of modern baseball to know who the good umps and the bad umps are. Although I see some highlights on YouTube sometimes calling out the umps. But back in the 80s when I was watching all that baseball, and the 90s for that matter, I had a pretty good idea who was going to be a problem for my team. So we got Dernier in center for the Cubs, Trio at third, Sandberg at second, Keith Moreland batting cleanup and playing right. First baseman Leon Durham plays first, obviously, and bats fifth. Jody Davis, the catcher, bats sixth. Brian Dayette is not carded, so we went with Thad Bosley for left field and Sean Dunston at shortstop. Eckersley, of course, the pitcher. Babe's crying because something's happening in the show. And there's no crying in baseball, so I won't be crying. Unless Thurman Munson dies this season. He does not, so we'll be okay. One of my earliest baseball memories is my dad crying when Thurman Munson died. I don't know if that was good or bad. It was certainly traumatic. Here's Rick Ownby for the Cardinals. Let's see what kind of lineup the Cardinals put out there today. As we get this game ready to roll. We also got to change out our dice so St. Louis can get their fair share of red and whites. All right, they're going to send out Vince Coleman in left, McGee in center. Tommy Herr plays second base and bats third. Jack Clark, the cleanup man, playing first base. Van Slyke in right, batting fifth. Terry Pendleton bats sixth and plays third. Mike Heath is your catcher, batting seventh. And the Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith, playing short and batting eighth. Ownby is a batter one. So we'll get that pitching card ready. So they didn't change their lineups at all from the first game. We'll note the particulars. Ownby a 4E51. Clearly fielding was his priority. And he's a relief starter. His starting POW is only a 5. Coleman in left field a 3+2 E10. McGee a 1-0 E4. Herr a 2 E10. Jack Clark a 4E8. So if Glenn Davis had a chance at a Gold Glove, Jack Clark is even better with an E8 versus Davis's E12. Van Slyke a 1-3 E13. Here's Pendleton, a third baseman 1 E21. He's good range. He's going to drop a few though. It's going to make it look interesting though. Mike Heath a 3-1 arm E15. Oh my goodness. I think that's the highest we've seen. T13. That's not the highest we've seen. Somebody was a T20 so far. And P5. So Mike Heath, not really a great catcher. And the Wizard of Oz, of course, a 1E17. Now there's your Gold Glove at shortstop. Ownby, batting ninth. Scarborough Fair, yes sir. What's up, Sports Time Machine? How you doing? For the Cubs, it's Eckersley. He's a 3E22 with a 6 fatigue. Here's Dernier. Dernier, I'm told it's pronounced Dernier. Somebody corrected me last time. 2+2 E6. Manny Trio plays third, a 3E23. Sandberg's a 1E5. Moreland is a 4-1 E6 in right field. Durham is a 3E9. Davis is a 1-3 arm behind the plate. E1, T5, P5. So he's a pretty good fielder. Bosley, in for Brian Dayette, who is not carded, is a 4+1 E9. Dunston's a 3E36. Not going to be a Gold Glover. And Eckersley batting ninth. So we'll leave those folks out there. Eck will go over on top of the other stack. Ownby will come on over. And I will take a brief break to stretch. Clear those sinuses again. have some water. Top 10 hit for over 400 years. Wow. Little hydration never hurt, folks. Unless you were drowning. Then it's overhydration. I got two sad-looking puppies sitting next to me. They don't understand baseball. It's a shame. Well, folks, here we are at, is it Busch Stadium? Shit, I don't even know. I think it is, right? Yeah, Busch Stadium 2, if you want to be technical. This is the second game of the evening Sports Time Machine. It is our first game on Thursday, April 10th, 1986, however. In the first game, Mike Scott struck out 14 and allowed just 3 hits as he shut out the San Francisco Giants 3-0. Scott Garrelt's got a quality start and took the loss, as will happen when you go up against Mike Scott in 1986. Here we have the Chicago Cubs coming into Busch Stadium 2 to face the St. Louis Cardinals. On the mound for the Cubs, Eckersley. And on the mound for the Cardinals, Rick Ownby. We can't use the Houston Astros dice, so we'll go to the handy-dandy Yankee cigar box to select a new set of dice. Let's go with some square ones today. How about that? Little square, actual Strat-O-Matic issued dice. To go with, well, this red 20 is further over, so that probably means it's been out of rotation longer. I like changing out the dice every game, if I remember, because you never know if the dice are a little imperfect. And this way I can be pretty sure we're getting fair rolls throughout the course of a full season replay. Pardon me. I don't want to sniffle at you. But I don't have anything going on, but a little sinusitis right now. Well, the Cubs are going to send up Dernier. I'm going to have to get used to saying that correctly. Bob Dernier, the center fielder, bats right. And Rick Ownby looks in for the sign. His warm-up pitches are complete. And the umpires are ready. It's Mike Heath. We have an average day for baseball here in St. Louis. It is a day game. Ownby is ready. Dernier waits. How about a 1-6 double 1-7 fly ball to left? This one's hit out toward left field. Back on the ball goes Coleman. And he makes the catch. Runs it down, the speedy Coleman does. And there's one out here in the first. Manny Trio coming up. The right-hander. Ownby delivers a 6-6. This one's hit toward third. Could be trouble. For Pendleton, single 1-5, and no, Pendleton gloves that one, second out of the inning. So 2 balls hit pretty well, but right at defenders for more or less. And there's 2 down. Here's Ryan Sandberg, the excellent second baseman. Look at that rating. I just kind of cruised past that as we were putting it in there, but that defensive rating might be the best in the game in 86. A 1E5. For any infield position, possibly any outfield position. We might have like a 1E2 or an E3 in the outfield somewhere. I have to keep an eye out for that. But, man, oh no. Well, Willie McGee's right here with a 1E4. Making a liar out of me. In the very same game. But Sandberg is up at bat. Bats from the right side. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the first for the Cubs. Ownby with a 1-12. A line drive, but once again, right at the shortstop. Smith barely has to move, and it's a 1-2-3. Ownby throwing batting practice, and the Cubs obliging by hitting it right at his fielders. No score. Top of the first. We'll go to the bottom. Eckersley will face Coleman, McGee, and Herr. Dernier. There we go. See, I'm learning. I'm a teachable. So Coleman will bat. The switch hitter bats left against Eckersley. Dennis is on the mound. These warm-ups are complete. Your broadcaster has plied his vocal cords with some Buffalo Trace bourbon. Yes, we do accept sponsorships, Buffalo Trace. And here's the pitch. How about a 1-7? This is hit on the ground to short. Dunstan's going to have to hurry. He scoops it, makes a strong throw, and retires Coleman by half a step. Vince might be the fastest guy in baseball right now. But Dunstan's arm is pretty good. He threw him out, first out, and here's McGee. The aforementioned best outfielder in the game right now, I think. 1-E-4 for McGee in center, but that don't matter. He's going to have to bat lefty against Eckersley. How about a 3-8 against the right-handed Eckersley? That one is hit well. Out toward right field. A home run 1-6, double 7-20. Back and it goes Van Slyke. And it's off the wall. Van Slyke is there, gets it in quickly, but the speedy McGee is into second with a 1-out double. Here's Tommy Herr, another switch hitter for St. Louis. And another speedster, McGee. Actually not being held on second. He's only got a 9 as his second steal success rating here in Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced. Despite being a B stealer. Well, I guess that makes sense. He's a B stealer. Tommy Herr batting third. An uncharacteristic third place hitter, but really the only power on this club comes from Jack Clark. Everybody else is out there for their fielding and speed. So McGee on second, 1 out. Here's Herr from the left side. Eckersley delivers. How about a 3-6? Strikes him out. That is my wife kissing our dog.
Sorry.
She's an irrepressible personality, folks.
She loves love.
And we are just here having a good time on a Friday night with you folks. Tommy Herr's down on strikes. And it's Jack Clark coming up. Now, we talked about power. Jack Clark didn't have it in 86. Well, that's not really true. He hit 9 homers in 232 at-bats. So, about 280 plate appearances. So, not bad. He was on pace for a 20-homer season. But not the power that you would hope for from the cleanup hitter. McGee on second there, 2 down. Eckersley delivers to Clark. How about a 6-7 right side? Ground ball second base X. There's Sandberg. He's a 1-E-5. McGee not being held, so it doesn't matter. How about a 14-9 on that 1-E-5? That ought to be a G1. It is. And nothing doing on the E5, so Sandberg picks it. Fires to, who the hell's playing first? Leon Durham at first. And it's a third out of the inning. 1 left. No score after 1. Babe giving me a dram more of Buffalo Trace. That is my limit for the evening, and that is fair. I'm just starting to feel the first one. Combined with the tiredness of a long week, folks. I don't know how your week was. Combination of snow, of...
Shit.
No, not shit, babe. Not shit. Everything's fine. The job is good. I appreciate it very much. I'm a grateful guy. Listen, I have a good job to go to. It pays me reasonably well. Our bills are taken care of. I am healthy. So is my family. Okay, but some weeks just drag, you know. You can have the most positive attitude in the world, and some days are just back to back to back. You get call-outs when you're running a place, and the days are a little longer than they ought to be most weeks. And sometimes they just drag on. And that was what this week was for me.
And I wasn't feeling good.
We're in the throes of February, which for me is the darkest time of the year. It's the coldest time of the year. Spring is right around the corner, though, folks. Pitchers and catchers reported. We're ready to play some baseball. We're going to have our first spring training games next weekend, and everything's going to be all right. But right now, it's time for Keith Moreland, Leon Durham, and Jody Davis to bat against Rick Ownby in the second inning. Nothing. I'm happy to be here with you this Friday night. And it's a 6-5 against Moreland. Fly ball right field. Van Slyke is there. Really good defensive team for the Cardinals coming off their world championship. Did they win it all in 85? My memory is a little shady. I don't remember. It was the Cardinals in Kansas City in 85? Who the hell won that one? I think it was the Cards. You know, I used to know these by heart, and as I get older and there's just more and more seasons in my lifetime, I have trouble keeping them together. I probably could have named you every world champion from let's say 69. I was born in 73. I probably could have named you every world champion from 69 to 2,000 at one point. Now I can't. I just can't. Go Yanks. That's right. Well, here's Durham. Leon bats from the left side against Ownby. And it's a 3-2. Line drive to second. No problem for Tommy Herr. And that is the second out of the second inning. You'll notice that our score sheet has all single numbers so far. Everything's been a line drive or a fly out. 2 down. Here's Jody Davis, a power hitting and good fielding catcher for the Cubs. It's a 6-8. Right-hander ground ball, second base X. Tommy Herr is pretty good. He's a 2-8-10. Nobody's as good as Sandberg, but 7-5. We're going to have a rare play possibility, but probably not with nobody on base. How about a G2RP? Lines a shot that deflects off the pitcher to the fielder who makes play to first. So that's going to be a 1-4-3. We've added some extra numbers to our out result, but the result is the same. A 1-2-3 inning for Ownby, and we go to the bottom of the second. Cardinals coming up, no score. Cardinals will send up Van Slyke, Pendleton, and Heath against Eckersley here in the second. Andy Van Slyke, a good hitting right fielder with gap power. He'll get it over the fence once in a while. Good evening, Glenn Bonesteel. Casey won at 85. That's right. That's selective memory, Glenn. I don't like to think about that because, you know, I'm a Yankees fan. Don't like to think about the Royals and those George Brett years. They were a nemesis if ever there was one. It was the Red Sox and it was the Royals in the American League as far as the Yankees were concerned. Now it's the Astros. Here's Van Slyke. Eckersley ready. The left-hander waits. A 1-7. That's a base on balls. And Van Slyke is on. He's got some speed. Hey, we haven't done any holds yet because that's our first base runner. Well, first guy on first anyway. So a hold 0 for Eckersley with Jody Davis's -3 means this is a -5. Wow. -7 hold. So Van Slyke's 17 turns into a 12. Eckersley tosses over there, holding him close. Here's Pendleton. Terry, Terry, pretty good hit and run guy. We're going to do that. He's going to be a hit and run A, so Eckersley is ready. Van Slyke on the move with the pitch. It's a 3-3. That might be a good result for Pendleton on an A. That's through the right side. He goes through the vacated hole. And it's going to be first and third as Van Slyke scampers over to third. The throw comes in. Pendleton with a successful hit and run. It's first and third here, and Mike Heath coming up.
Stop.
I don't want to stop. I want to keep playing. So Van Slyke at third, Pendleton at first. They are not holding Van Slyke at third. They are, I believe, holding Pendleton at first, aren't they? Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And Mike Heath coming up. The catcher, Heath, That's from the right side. Eckersley glances at Van Slyke, looks over his shoulder at Pendleton, and from the stretch, can expect Eckersley to throw more fat. Take it easy.
He just ate my bread.
Okay. Our dog's being a little rambunctious. And it's not making Babe happy. Well, there's a 6-5 to Mike Heath, batting right, grounded on the ground is short. Dunstan's a 3E36. He is not responsible for holding a runner with a right-hander at bat. So let's see what happens here. It's going to be a 16-14 to Dunstan. How about a G1? 14 is not an error. 13, 15, 16, and 17, all errors. No error there. So this is going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Pendleton is doubled off. Van Slyke will score, and there's 1 run in. Not an ideal result, but St. Louis gets a run, and it's 1-0. Ozzie Smith coming up. Smith, a switch hitter, batting left. 6-5. Left side, ground ball to shortstop. Dunstan again, 3E36. Oh, there's a 15. That's trouble. We know that's an error from last play. G3, E1, I believe. Yep. Dunston boots it, and he has to eat it. And Smith is on the E6. Smith on first with 2 outs, and the pitcher, Ownby, coming up. Uno momento, folks, uno momento. The dog is being a little crazy. He's pissed off my wife, and that's never a good thing. He's a very, very good dog. But right now, he stole food out of her hand. So that's always fun.
Stuff that he should not be eating.
And stuff he shouldn't be eating. So now he's going to get sick and fart all over the place. You can save these starving little puppies by donating 7 cents a day. Remember, it's your help that they're very good sports time machine. Very, very good. Yes, if these dogs were well... Listen, Oscar is a little overweight. Not a lot, actually. He's a couple of pounds overweight. It's always a struggle with him. He will literally eat all day long if we let him. And he loves... I can't think of anything he doesn't like to eat, honestly. I'm sure there's something. Well, we've got 2 outs, folks. A run is in, and Ozzie Smith is on first. He will have a pretty good chance of stealing, even with the -5 hold. He's a 19 first success. -5 gives him a 14. But if he gets caught, Rick Ownby has to lead off the next inning. What the hell? Let's do it. 2-5 for a good lead. There's a 3. Got to make sure that 20 is not a 1, though. It's not. So Smith with the good lead. He's off to the races. The pitch to Ownby is low. And Ozzie's in there with a stolen base. So Ozzie's in scoring position. They will hold him at second, and Ownby has an RBI chance. 1 ball, no strike. Eckersley from the stretch. Got a jumper. Found him. How about a 1-3? And never mind, this is on the ground to second base. Sandberg is there. Plenty of time to toss it to first and retire Ownby for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Cardinals pick up 1. They leave 1. And after 2, it's 1-0 St. Louis. Ownby back on the mound after grounded out. He will face 7, 8, 9. Bosley, Dunston, and Eckersley. Here's Thad. What a weird name, Bosley. Forgive me, anybody named Thad. I don't think I've ever heard the name Thad outside of Thad Bosley. Wasn't there a football player with the first name Thad? I'm not sure. Well, Bosley, the left fielder, he bats left, and Ownby delivers. How about a 4-11? Ballpark single chance. That's going to be a 1-13 for lefties. Nope. Line drive right at Tommy Herr, and he takes it in. So Ownby continues his, what are we going to say? His routine of getting lineouts and flyouts. Only 1 ground ball so far today. So 1 out in the 3rd, and here's Sean Dunston. Dunston with surprising power at times. Sean thinks he's a power hitter. He really ought to be acting like Willie Mays Hayes, but hey, what are you going to do? You can only coach some guys so much. So 1 out, Dunston waits from the right side. A 2-5. Well, there's a strikeout, and 2 are down. And whoops, where'd that pitcher's hitting card go? There it is. Eckersley. Due up to bat. He's a 6. NR. 2 down, Eckersley waits. The pitch from Ownby, a 5-9. Fly ball out toward left field. Should not be a problem for Coleman. He is there in plenty of time, and it's another 1-2-3 for Ownby. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 4th. St. Louis hanging on to a 1-0 lead. Eckersley will face the top of the St. Louis order in the bottom of the 3rd. Coleman, McGee, and Herr. Vince Coleman 0 for 1 so far today. 6-9, left-handed. Triple 1-10, double 11-20. Tomahawked out toward the gap. This could be a problem. It's one-hopped and cut off, but very deep, and Speedy Coleman is already almost at second. He pulls up as the throw comes in, and it's a leadoff double for Vince. And he's a 16-second steal success, which is probably the best in the game. But that -7 hold makes him a 9, so they'll hold him on, and Willie McGee comes up to bat. McGee is surprisingly not that great a bunter. He's 1 for 1 today with a double. Love the way I track my pitcher usage. It's simple, Glenn. Thank you very much. Yeah, I try to keep it easy. The less I have to track, the happier I am. I don't even like tracking injuries, although I do in some replays. In this one, I'm not. Pretty much if they're on the roster, then they're on the roster. The as-played lineups is about as far as I go most of the time. And actually, that's even a rarity for me. So a lot of times I just like messing around, setting my own lineups. But for 86, it's a special season for me. It was my first actual strat set, and I wanted to kind of have an historical perspective on things, To steal third, -4 pitcher hold, catcher arm, right. So that's where the -7 comes in. That's what we calculated. So Coleman on. Yeah, because Eckersley's a 0, Jody Davis is a -3, and then we get the -4. That brings us -7. So here's McGee. Coleman on second, nobody out, and Eckersley delivers. About a 5-8, left-handed, fly ball to center. Dernier is ranging over. He has room and makes the catch. Coleman retreats to second as Dernier throws into third. One away now for Tommy Herr. Tommy's 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far today. Eckersley from the stretch glances at Coleman. Vince not going anywhere. It's a 5-5. Herr also batting left, and he lays off this one. That'll be a base on balls. So Eckersley walks Herr, and it's now first and second for Jack Clark, who's got reasonable power. Not his best season, but he can still get it out. First and second, one down. Eckersley would love a ground ball here. Clark is 0 for 1, grounded out his first time up. Dennis from the stretch looks over his shoulder at Coleman. Coleman dancing out there. Sandberg darts back toward the bag. Back away again, deep into the hole. Here's the pitch from Eckersley. It's a 3-6. Strikes him out. Big strikeout for Eckersley, his second of the day. And now it's Andy Van Slyke coming up. Andy walked his first time up, came around and scored later on. It's an unearned run, by the way, the only run of the game so far. And here's Van Slyke with 2 outs, first and second. Eckersley from the stretch, a 6-7, grounder second base X. Sandberg will be tested. Is he holding the runner on? No, not with a left-hander at bat, actually. It's the shortstop's responsibility. So Sandberg a 1-E5 on 11-10. G1. G1, nothing. Sandberg scoops it, flips to first, and that will be it here in the third. Nothing doing, 2 left. After 3, it's 1-0 St. Louis. Ownby will face the top of the order in the 4th. The Cubs send up Dernier, Trio, and Sandberg. It's been 3 innings. Let's have a sip of Buffalo Trace. What are you guys playing/drinking tonight? Right. -5 +5 with the pitcher hold and catcher arm. And then you add in the -2 for the first steal success rating, -4 for the second, is my understanding. So you could theoretically get as high as a -9 on the second steal success rating. Unless I'm reading it wrong, but that's how I've always played it. I'll review it after the game if you think I'm wrong, but we're going to stick with it for now. So here's Dernier. He flew out to left his first time up. A 1-8. Grounded down at third. A 1-E21 is Pendleton. No problem for him. It's not an X chance, by the way. Just amazed how good a fielding team this Cardinals team is. If you look at it, the worst fielder by far is Clark with a 4-E8, and then Heath at catcher. Everybody else, well, never mind the pitchers, are 1s, 2s, and Coleman's a 3. So Coleman average, everybody else pretty damn good. Crowley is awesome. Finishes 72 Red Sox replay. Oh, nice. Very good, Glenn. How'd they end up for you? It's Trio coming up. He's 0 for 1. Popped out to third his first time up. It's a 6-7. Lines it up the middle. A base hit. The first base hit off Ownby. And there goes the early perfecto. Trio cannot steal bases, so he'll settle in close to the bag with a small lead as Sandberg comes to the plate. 1 out, 1 on, and Rhino is 0 for 1 today. Ownby delivers from the stretch a 1-6. Shortstop A. That's grounded down to Ozzie. He flips to her and on to Clark in plenty of time for the 6-4-3 double play. So despite the base hit, Ownby has still faced the minimum through 4. And we head to the bottom half. St. Louis trying to add to a 1-0 lead. It's going to be Pendleton, Heath, and Smith. Terry is 1 for 1 today. Eckersley ready. The pitch. 5-6 against the left-hander. Grounded to second. Sandberg's there. No problem. Over to Durham. And Pendleton's retired. Here's Heath. He grounded into a double play his first time up. Eckersley from the wind up. How about a 5-7 right-handed? Strikes him out. Third strikeout of the day for Dennis. Heath now 0 for 2, and there's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th for Ozzie Smith. Ozzie reached on an error and stole a base. Never came around, though. 0 for 1 in the box score. Here's Dennis, a 2-8. And Smith goes the other way through the left side, and that's a base hit for Ozzie. So this is a similar situation to the last time Ozzie was up. He'll need a good lead on a 2-5 with Ownby at the plate. Can he get it? The pitch from Eckersley, it's high. And we'll call that ball 1. A quick toss over, and Smith steps back to the bag. So it's no balls, 1 strike. 1 ball, no strikes. Ownby in the box. Not a good hitting pitcher. And this D20 wants to roam. Well, that turns it into a 3-10. Makes no difference. Grounded down to third. There's Trio. Fields it and fires to Durham to retire the side. 1 left. Nothing doing for St. Louis in the bottom of the 4th. It will be Moreland, Durham, and Davis in the 5th. And if you're wondering, this is Ownby's first fatigue inning. Oh, you're only 24 games in there. 10 and 14 playing the as schedule, not the shorter real season schedule. Gotcha. Very cool. Tell Bill Lee it wasn't Craig Nuttall's fault in that fight. It was a misunderstanding. I remember that one, actually. Well, I don't remember it. I've seen the highlights of it. I wasn't born yet, so I can't remember it. Yeah, I'm bragging. I'm only 51, guys. I'm young in this hobby. So here's Moreland leading off against Ownby. Ownby in his POW inning. That's a 2-7. And a fly ball to center. Willie McGee says he has it, and he does for the first out of the inning. Moreland retired. Here's Durham. Leon's 0 for 1. Pretty much everybody's 0 for 1 except for Manny Trio, who's 1 for 2. How about a 6-6 against Leon? And here, Leon adds his name to the hit roll. A line drive single up the middle for Durham. And hey, we don't have any hold rating here yet. So Ownby's a -1, Heath a -1, that's a -2. We add 2 to that, that's a -4. If we add 4 to that, that's a -6. So Durham held closely, Ownby with a toss over. Now he sets, looks in for the sign. Davis waits. Durham not going far. And here's the pitch to Jody, who grounded into a double play his first time up. Actually, no, he did not. He bounced one off the mound to Sandberg, who retired him. So 0 for 1 for Davis. Durham at first, being held. The pitch from Ownby. It's a 6-8 to the right-hander Davis. Second base X is a 2-E10. That's going to make him a 3-E10 because of the hold. Let's see what happens. How about an 8-14? G3. And he is responsible. That's going to be a single 2. And a 14 on the 10, did I say? Yep. Single 2. That's past him. Into the outfield for a base hit for Davis. Over to third goes Durham as the throw comes in. And it's first and third, 1 out for Thad Bosley. Bosley, line drive to second base his first time up. Ownby from the stretch. How about a 3-2 against a right-hander? Pops this one up on the infield, and no problem over there. In fair territory, Pendleton makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So first and third, 2 down, and here's Dunston. Dunston's a streaky hitter, can go either way. He struck out his first time up. So if he's streaky, you know what that means, but if Ownby hangs one, he could be in trouble. 2 down, 2 on here in the top of the 5th. Ownby delivers from the stretch. How about a 1-9? And never mind, folks, that's a fly ball to left. Looks like Coleman has it, and he does for the third out of the inning. 2 left on for the Cubs, and they can't get a run. No score for them through 5. St. Louis with 1 on the board. They lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th. And we're back to the top of the order for the Cardinals. It's Coleman, McGee, and Hurd. What about him? Turning 56 in a couple of weeks. Happy early birthday, sir. I also have 72. It's one of my favorites to play around with as well. About 50 games into a replay on that one, but I haven't touched it in a while. As I want to do, Love Bill Lee carries around a Nettles baseball card in his wallet. And he'll be 54 in a couple of months, guys. We really ought to go out and celebrate our 50s. Hopefully it's one of the best decades. They say 50 is the new 40. I would prefer if it was the new 20, but I'm probably asking too much. Coleman's 1 for 2. He doubled and grounded out. Eckersley not yet in his fatigue inning. He's got 1 more to go. It's a 1-9. Fly ball to left field. The left fielder Bosley is there, and Coleman is retired, 1 away. Here's McGee. Switch hitter batting left. He's 1 for 2. 6-10. Fly ball out toward right. Keith Moreland is there. 2 down quickly for St. Louis, and Eckersley is looking for 1 more out here in the 5th. Another switch hitter, Tommy Herr. He's 0 for 1 with a base on balls. How about a 2-7? This is trouble. It's going to be a base hit out toward left center. Double 1 to 7. How about a 17? Makes it a single. Bosley corrals it, gets it in quickly, and Herr will stop. So he's a 17. He'd be a 12, but the power hitter's up. So Herr held closely. A couple of steps off first, trying to extend his lead, but Eckersley keeps looking over at him. Clark's 0 for 2 so far today. Jack hoping to put it together this season and lead St. Louis back to the World Series. We'll see how that goes. How about a 2-7, and Clark leads off. Eckersley misses. That's a base on balls. So a 2-out walk here. Now it's first and second for the dangerous Andy Van Slyke. Van Slyke 0 for 1 today. A walk and a run scored. The only run of the game thus far. Eckersley from the stretch to Van Slyke from the left side. 1-10. A line drive, but right at Sandberg, who moves 1 step to his right and takes it in. 2 left on for the Cardinals. Nothing doing. As we head to the 6th, we've got a pitcher's duel. St. Louis with a 1-0 lead. Due up to lead off is Eckersley. It's still pretty early, and Dennis is pitching pretty well. He's making it through some tough innings. There have been some base runners, but he's going to get a chance to hit here. They're going to go a little deeper with a 1-0 game. So Eckersley in the box. He's 0 for 1. 6-3. Fly ball out toward left field. Coleman is giving chase a 3-10. How about a 4? That's trouble. 4-13. A 4 is a single 2. And 13 is nothing. So a base hit for the pitcher, Eckersley. And he'll get his warm-up jacket on. Keep that arm warm. And it's Bob Dernier coming up. Eckersley, I don't believe he's a threat to steal, but let's just double check. Dennis was a bit of an athlete. Nope, he's got a running rating of 1 to 12. That's a tongue twister, folks. Not really. My tongue just gets twisted easily. But I've always been popular with the ladies, if you know what I mean. That's disgusting, sir. Please move on with the baseball game. Will do. All right. Bob Dernier, 0 for 2. Can't remember it. Got to remember it's 2024. And Omby is ready. Pays no attention to Eckersley. He's actually pitching from the windup. Like a wind-up toy, it's a 4-4. Grounded to short. Smith is a 1E17. There's no hold. It doesn't matter. How about a 17-8? That's a G1. And nothing doing. That's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. So 2 quick outs here for the Cubs in the 6th. And it'll be Manny Trio. Manny's 1 for 2. He'd like to go 2 for 3. Ownby has other ideas. Oops. Got a bumper. How about a 5-8 right-handed? There's a base hit for Trio. That could be trouble. Is it going to get through? It does not. It is cut off out there by Van Slyke. And Trio will be held to his second single of the day. Manny on base. Babe's coughing a little bit. Pardon her.
This lady put her fridge in the purse. I mean, her purse in the fridge.
Her fridge in the purse? How big is her purse?
Hey, it's a woman. You know how big their purses are.
Yeah, but... Man.
Sorry.
She put her fridge in the purse, folks. For the record, Babe is also having something to drink tonight.
I had wine.
She's had a little bit of wine. Well, there's 2 down, and Trio's on first for Ryan Sandberg. No hold necessary. Trio does not steal bases. Sandberg can hit, though. It's a 4-10. Ballpark single chance. That's going to be a 1-10 on the right-hand side, and it's through for a base hit. 2-out single for Sandberg. Trio was moving on contact, and he makes it over to third as the throw comes back in. So it's first and third. Babe's making weird noises for no apparent reason.
Now let's kiss the puppy.
The puppies are getting all the love now. Well, not Oscar. Screw him. He stole your food.
He's sleeping.
It's first and third, 2 down, and Moreland with power up at bat. He's 0 for 2 today, a couple of fly balls. One more kiss. Here's a dice roll. And 5-5, that's going to be a strikeout. So Ownby on the verge of fatigue with his second strikeout of the day gets out of trouble. 2 left on for Chicago, and nothing doing through 6. They still trail by 1. You like carrying a grudge for years. Very nice. I appreciate that. I'm a live and let live kind of guy. Anybody I had a grudge against, I forgot a while ago. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's going to be Pendleton, Heath, and Smith. Terry's 1 for 2, and Eckersley delivers. How about a 4-9? Left-handed, that's trouble. Triple 1-10 double. That's going to get past everybody and bounces around out there. They're giving chase. Moreland is eventually going to corral it. By the time he does and gets it in, Pendleton is on with a lead-off triple. So Terry's on third. They'll play the quarters in against Mike Heath just to try to keep it at a 1-run game. Heath's 0 for 2. Eckersley with the pitch, a 3-5, strikes him out. That was a necessary strikeout for Eckersley. Second time Heath went down on strikes. Eckersley's 4th of the day, and here's Ozzie. Well, the corners are in. Ozzie's an A bunter. What do you think, folks? What's Terry's second steal success chance? A 13. That would be a 4. 4. If he had to steal. Is Ozzie going to try to bunt him home? We'll see. Eckersley looks in for the sign. Smith waits. Nah, he's swinging away. It's a 3-5. Grounded to second. That might be good. I think that's going to be good for a run. It was not infield in, it was corners in. And that is going to be good for a run. No play at home. Henderson races in on the 4-3. An RBI for Smith, and it's 2-0 St. Louis now. And Ownby due up. He's pitching the shutout, and they're not taking him out. Not yet. Ownby 0 for 2 with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Eckersley a 4-6. Ownby bats right, just double checking. And that's the 5th strikeout of the day for Dennis. That will retire the side, but St. Louis picks up an insurance run. It's now 2-0. As we head to the 7th, Omby a POW 5 going into his 7th inning. He could go 8 before he absolutely is fatigued. So Durham is up. Durham 1 for 2, trying to get something going for the Cubs offense here. He'd like to get on base. 4, 5, grounder to short. Well, that's not the way to do it. You don't want to hit it to Ozzie. He's a 1E17. How about a 17-6? That's a G1. And nothing. Smith over to Clark, 1 away. So Durham's out. 1 down, and here's Jody Davis. Well, if it was a 1-run game, you'd be a little worried if you were Omby, but because Davis can hit it out of the park. But he's got a little room to work with, and he'll come after Davis. Davis 1 for 2 on the day. How about a 1-6? Grounded again to Smith. You know the result of that. 2 away. Here's that. The Bosman. 0 for 2. A couple of infield liners today. How about a 2-6? Well, he doesn't make contact this time. The 3rd strikeout of the day for Omby. A 1-2-3 inning. Omby pitching spectacularly through 7. If you're wondering, folks, the Cardinals' bullpen's pretty fresh. Well, here's Eckersley coming out for the 7th inning. And now he's in, is this his inning? Well, he was in danger in the 6th, but he only gave up 1 hit. So here's Coleman. Coleman is 1 for 3, doubled, and not much else. Eckersley at 3-5, strikes him out. 6th strikeout of the day for Eckersley. They're starting to add up, but right now he's on the losing side. Trying to hold him right there so his team can rally. Here's McGee, 1 for 3. As we try to move it along for everybody, it's another strikeout, back-to-back strikeouts for Eckersley. His 7th on the day. And it'll be Tommy Herr. Herr's had a reasonably productive day at the plate, 1 for 2 with a base on balls. Eckersley a 4-10 against the left-handed hitting Herr. That is a ballpark single, 1-13 from the left side. Nope. A line drive right at Sandberg. A 1-2-3 here for Eckersley in the 7th. And that's going to be his ball game, folks, because he's due to bat and his team is trailing in the 8th. So we can mark Eckersley out. We'll have a pinch hitter. Dennis goes 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits. No homers. 2 runs. Only 1 earned. Really good game for Eckersley, actually. He just ran into Rick Ownby having a career day. Let's see. 7 Ks and how many walks? 1, 2, 3. Which is a high walk total for Dennis. Not so much as a starter, but. So Eckert's out. Ownby comes out for the 8th, I think. I haven't made a decision on that yet. I want to look at the setup possibilities with a shutout going. The most important thing is to win this game for St. Louis. So Eckersley's day is done. He'll go back at the back of the rotation. Next up in the rotation, by the way, for Chicago will be Steve Trout. So we're going to have a pinch hitter, first of all, for the Cubs. He's going to come out on deck, and that's going to be, well, depends on who the pitcher is. So let's do one thing at a time. Un momento, por favor. Worrell is obviously the closer. He could go 2. They've already used Horton. Are they going to go to Worrell? They might. He's got a 6 closer rating. Yeah, they're going to do it. Omby's on the verge of fatigue. His day will be done. It's going to be Todd Worrell coming out to pitch 2 innings if he can with a 2-run lead. The 8th and the 9th will belong to the closer. So Worrell is coming in, which means Ownby's day is done. He goes 8 innings. Pardon me, 7. No, they both go 7. So Ownby goes 7. He gave up not much. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits, no homers, no runs, no earned runs. 3 strikeouts, how many walks? It might be a 20, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Controversial, no setup man. I don't like him. I don't like him. We've got Pat Perry at 3.8. We've got Ken Daly, who only pitched 39 innings. We've got Ray Soff, who only pitched 38. They're really more lefty-righty specialists. And Worrell is fresh, hasn't pitched yet this season. He's got the 2 fatigue rating with the 6 closer rating, so we're just going to go with him here. We might have to piecemeal that a little more in the future, but for now, I'm okay with giving Worrell a 2-inning save in 1986. I think that was not that unusual in the 80s. So it's going to be Dunston leading off. Who's the on-deck batter? Let's see. Now that we know it's a righty on the mound, we've got some options. John Morris probably not going to be it. Kurt Ford, very possibly. Jose Oquendo, very possible. Nicely. Hurdle, no. And LaValliere, the catcher, it's not going to be. So really we're between Ford and Oquendo. And I think by a slight advantage, it's going to be Oquendo coming out. No real science there, just a glance at the card. It's very, very close. So Oquendo comes out on deck as the pinch hitter. Also, I like Jose Oquendo. I enjoyed him. I had his baseball card. I remember that. So it'll be Dunston, Oquendo, and Dernier due up against Worrell here in the 8th. Todd going for a 2-inning save. I don't like taking Ownby out with a shutout, but I just have a feeling. Let's see if that feeling is realized. As Dunston comes up, he's 0 for 2. How about a 3-5 against the right-hander? Well, Worrell has his first strikeout. Todd will do a lot of that. 1 away for the Cubs in the 8th. Here's Oquendo. I think this is his first appearance of the year. 1-6, and that hunch pays off. Oquendo with a single up the middle. And he'd be a 15. The hold has changed, or has it? 0 -1, so that'll be a -3, -5. So Oquendo's held closely, and Bob Dernier to the plate. They need 2 runs. So we're not looking at a hit and run here with 1 out. We're looking at hoping for a base hit or a walk for the Cubs. Well, I'm playing impartially, but I'm thinking about the Cubs right now. Worrell, if he has his way, he's thinking about a strikeout. How about a 5-3 right-handed? Ground ball back to the pitcher. Worrell is a 5 E28. Oh, God. That's an interesting twist. Well, there's an 18-10. The 18 ought to be safe, even on a 5. It is. It's a... Wait, hold on. Flip it over. Wrong chart. Should still be safe. It's a G2. And a 10 on the E28 is an E1. So Worrell feels it, muffs it. And once he picks it up, he has to eat it. And that's going to be an E1. And now the tying run is on first base. Dernier on first, Oquendo on second. Oquendo, no second steal success chance, really. But Manny Trio will come to bat. First and second, 1 out. Worrell thinking ground ball. Trio thinking line drive. Let's see who's right. Rick Sion, there you go. How about a 5-9? Fly ball out toward right. That should be playable for Van Slyke, and it is. 2 away. The runners retreat. And now it's Ryan Sandberg coming up. 1 for 3 on the day so far. Worrell looks in, likes the sign from Heath. From the stretch, Todd strides and pitches. It's a 5-11. Grounded toward Smith at short. And you know what happens, folks. It's a 6-3. End of inning. 2 left. The Cubs threaten, but Worrell gets through it, and still no score for the Cubbies. Cardinals coming up with 2 on the board. Let's see who their new pitcher will be. The Cubs will turn to, let's see what we got. Oh, actually, Her ended the last inning. I was paying too much attention to the pitchers. We've got righty, lefty, switch. So we just need somebody decent. And, well, they don't have many decent guys left. They're trailing. I got two options here, folks. I go Lee Smith, or I go to what really is a problem child. Very honestly. We're going to go Jay Bowler. I don't like using Smith in a non-save situation, even with it being a close game. So it's going to be Jay Bowler coming in. Great name. Sounds like he might have picked the wrong sport, but hey. So Bowler's in. He will, actually, where's Worrell? Worrell's a 1. I just want to make sure that pitcher sitting card is right. It is. Bowler is a 1. He is going to take Okendo's place. Right, so Okendo done, Bowler in. As I get tired and the bourbon starts to set in, one of the dangers is screwing up the score sheet. So Kendo's out, Bowler's in. The world is a vampire, and everything else is great.
The world is a vampire. There's no vampires in baseball.
All right. Leading off for the Cardinals, it's Jack Clark. Bowler is ready. Hey, we didn't put anybody in here. This is where Worrell should be. So here's Clark. Clark 0 for 2, walked and struck out today. Bowler, the right side, ready. Clark waits. 5-8. Grounder to second. Sandberg 1E5. How about a 13-7? That's going to be a G1. And probably nothing. Yep. Sandberg takes it, fires to first, and Clark is retired.
My show just died.
Well, that sucks. Here's Van Slyke. Andy on the day is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. How about a 5-4 left-handed? Catcher's card X. That's going to be the excellent fielding Davis, a 1E1 at catcher. How about a 5-11? PP, so it's going to be a pop-out if nothing else happens. And it's a pop-out to Jody Davis. And there's 2 away quickly. Here's Pendleton. Terry is 2 for 3 on the day. Tripled and scored to run his last time up. The insurance run for St. Louis. How about a 1-2? Don't see that often. A line drive, but it's right at Sandberg, who's been excellent in the field all day. A 1-2-3 inning for Bowler. He does the job in relief of Eckersley. Now it's up to the offense. Todd Worrell comes out. He will place himself in danger against Keith Moreland, Leon Durham, and Jody Davis. A lot of power right in the middle of this Chicago Cubs lineup. We head to the 9th. 2-0 St. Louis. ID Jester, welcome to the game, sir. I saw you were playing some Fall Classic Baseball earlier today. We've had a couple of excellent games tonight. We had a game number 1, we had a 3-0 shutout. Houston over, who the hell did they play? That was a long time ago already. Who did they play? Houston over San Francisco, 3-0. Mike Scott struck out 14 and threw a 3-hitter in his 1986 debut. Here we are in St. Louis with Chicago visiting. The Cardinals have a 2-0 lead over Chicago. It was Eckersley and Ownby to start, and they both pitched very well. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Todd Worrell is on the mound for his second inning of work, and he was facing, or is facing, the heart of the Chicago Cubs order. It's Keith Moreland, Leon Durham, and Jody Davis due up. And you guys will notice, if you can see Worrell's card, that 4 column is a little susceptible against lefties. So Durham the best chance for something to happen here. Moreland needs to get on base, though. Well, that being said, Moreland doesn't hit righties particularly well, but you'll notice the percentage and his at bat. Moreland really didn't get pinch hit for. Over 600 plate appearances. So we're going to play it straight, folks. Moreland's 0 for 3 on the day. Worrell is set from the stretch, even with nobody on, nobody out. 6-6. Pops this one up on the infield. Smith is there. Ozzie waits out a little past second base and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Ladies and gentlemen, this probably goes without saying, but you should subscribe to ID Jester if you are not already. He does a wide variety of content, including the sports sims we all know and love, also plays board games and war games, and he's an excellent broadcaster. You should give him a run if you get a chance. So, we're doing a full season replay for 86, Jester. All the games will be on YouTube. It may take us a really long time. We will play some other stuff in between, but for the most part, I would say we're going to get 4 to 5 games of 1986 in a week on the channel, if not more. So it just depends on how many I can do. Like, we do Sunday morning baseball again this week, and that's when I'll stream probably from 8 a.m. to noon, and we'll probably get 4 or 5 games in. Depending on the scores, of course. Thanks for asking. What'd you play tonight, man? I saw Full Classic, and you actually got me thinking, you and Tony Porter, who's the name of Tony's channel escapes me right now, got me really interested in Full Classic, so I went ahead and picked up a season today. Well, thanks, Chester. I appreciate that. We can only aspire to your level of greatness here on the tube, but we're going to keep plugging away and having fun and see what happens, So 1 out. Todd Worrell is not getting any freebies. And this is the biggest threat right now. Leon Durham, a left-handed batter against Worrell's card. 1 for 3 on the day is Durham. Trying to secure the shutout for St. Louis. It's a 3-9 against the righty. Well, Worrell says, sit down, Durham. I'm going to pitch to you on your own card. And it don't matter. Second strikeout for Worrell. And the Cubs are down to their final out. And it's the dangerous catcher, Jody Davis. Jody's 1 for 3 today. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Worrell looks in for the sign. Heath flashes when he likes. Worrell set. And the pitch. Well, we've got a bouncer. Hang on. How about a 5-6? Strikes him out. Third strikeout of the day for Worrell, and the ball game is over. A combined shutout, Rick Ownby with the game of his life. And Todd Worrell gets the save, his first save of the season. He goes 2, he allowed a hit, actually, and an error for a base runner, but no runs and 3 strikeouts with no walks. Ownby went 7. He gave up just 4 hits and struck out 3 for the win. Eckersley will take the loss. And Jay Baller goes an inning in relief. Gets the hold, but nothing doing because they were trailing. That's not really a hold if they're trailing, is it? The final score from St. Louis, it's 2 for the Cardinals, none for the Cubs. The Cardinals had 6 base hits. The Cubs had 5. And that is where we stand on this Friday night for Strat-O-Matic Baseball here on JC Sports Replays. Guys, I really appreciate the company. Rick Ownby was part of the trade in which Keith Hernandez went to the Mets. Oh, I didn't know that. Did he ever pitch for New York, or was he a minor leaguer? Hey, Dave. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you. You can probably tell by my voice that I'm getting a little tired, folks. The bourbon's kicked in pretty nicely. It's probably about time for us to sign off and let you go on to greener pastures. Yeah, it's 9:20. We're not really going to broadcast 1 and stay up till 11 o'clock because that's late for me. I usually get up at 4 a.m. Between 4 and 5, maybe 5 on the weekend. He pitched briefly with the Mets. All right. Got to check his record out. I had heard the name before, probably only because I owned the 86 set back in the day, but I can't even visualize the guy, so But yeah, I had fun tonight, guys. I didn't get to stream much this week because of work and my general fatigue level, but we got a double header in on this Friday night here on the channel. And I will be on tomorrow afternoon with a couple of games. And then we're going to do Sunday morning baseball again, where we'll play as many games as we can in a 4 or 5 hour stretch. And then we'll probably have some special broadcasting on Monday because I don't know if you know, but it's a bank holiday. We celebrate our American presidents on Monday. Jester, thanks for hanging out, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. Guys, make sure you follow ID Jester, a fantastic broadcaster. We can only aspire to his effervescent excellence, but aspire we will. He's a nice supporter of the channel too, folks. So if you're not following him, seriously, go on over, give him a sub, and check out his content. It's very, very diverse. I'm an early riser, therefore I'm an early to better. It may make me healthy and wealthy. Well, not so much wealthy. All these sports games are expensive. I'd like to think I'm getting wiser every day, though. Hope you enjoy your evening. I've enjoyed my time with you tonight. Glenn, Dav, Craig. I had to go back through the chat to remember everybody. I apologize. We had some Sports Time Machine was here tonight. Appreciate that. Probably some folks who didn't chat were here, and I appreciate that as well, folks. No chatting necessary. Jeffrey Guterman stopped by. Guys, I want to shout out Jeff again. I don't know if everybody knows Jeffrey. He is a very underrated, in my opinion, broadcaster. He keeps it real. He's my favorite Strat-O-Matic broadcaster. So please check him out as well. Dav, thanks for stopping by, man. Guys, I had fun. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Without further ado, it's been my pleasure. See you soon.